Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for another success story video. Now, this one is exciting because there's two successes in the one email. And the second success that I'm going to be sharing with you is a question that many people have about how could the subconscious mind make this circumstance happen. So I'm really happy today to be able to share a success story with an example of how the subconscious mind was able to make something happen under this circumstance that confuses and causes a lot of doubt in people. Now, that will make more sense when I read the success story, but as usual, I'm going to read it off my trusty laptop, and then I will give you a little bit of context about what we did together and go from there, really. But this person, this male as well, I've had a couple of comments about how it seems to be only females that get the success stories. Here is a male breaking the mold on that, going against the grain on that comment that I receive from time to time. But this person came to me about 6 months ago for the month's coaching package. And since we stopped coaching or stopped working together, they've sent me the odd update email until, when was the other one? Just under a week ago, where they sent me the job email, and then I received this one this morning, which is handy because I didn't have an idea for today's video, so this came in clutch. But I'll read the email and we'll go from there. Sup, Matt, more good news for you, can you believe it? Well, this is SP related. I thought I'd put both the successes in this email just in case you wanted to use it as a success story. It makes it a little bit easier than trying to find two emails during the video. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it if you are watching this video right now. Success one, my job. So this is what they sent a couple of days ago. As we spoke about through most of the coaching together, I was manifesting a new job because I really didn't like my old one. We worked through some affirmations and a bit of a routine together. My favorite thing though was the tip you gave me that you used for moving house. The I remember when I used to live here one. I used that each time I went to work and whenever I felt down about it. Well, as you know from my initial success email, my dad had a guy at work whose brother needed someone to do exactly what I wanted to go into. After some connection making and an informal interview, I got the job. I start in a couple of weeks. I will update you on how it goes. So that's quite an amazing success in and of itself, just leaving it there. A job manifestation is always fun, freedom, money, going into what you want, which is lovely. And this just kind of goes in that fashion where it's like the subconscious mind can make it happen. You know, this person's dad had someone whose brother had a role available and all the pieces slotted together, informal interview. There we go. Success story. Subconscious mind built that in the background. Many people think when it comes to job successes that it has to be finding the perfect one on Indeed.com or something like that. Things can happen. Your dad might just know someone who knows someone who knows someone who's got a job available. Your subconscious mind doesn't care about how many people down that list it has to move. It will move them. So that in and of itself is a very fun success story. I really hope they have an amazing time at their new job, and hopefully when they do update me once they've get started, it'll be nothing but good news. Now, this is the next one, success two. This is the thing that causes a lot of doubt in people, so stick out for this. Success two, my SP. This one is a bit spooky, but I think your fans might like it. So you remember when I first came to you, I mentioned there was a girl I met went out for a walk, but I didn't catch her name or number. Well, she followed me on Instagram a couple of days ago and messaged me. The story on how she found me is the spooky part. She has a friend who knows me and follows me on Instagram. Apparently, my SP was telling her friend about a guy she met when out walking, and all the details were me, of course. And our mutual friend showed her my profile and said, this guy, obviously question mark. She said she's never followed someone so fast. We've been talking consistently since and should be meeting up this Thursday. I'll keep you updated. Thank you so much for your help. You're awesome. So when they came to me initially for the coaching, the job was the big focus. As they state in their email, they weren't happy. And they did, as like a fleeting thing, mention this person that they met on that walk. And they said that they would love to manifest them, but because they didn't get the name or number, they weren't sure if it was going to be that successful. And I tried to do my usual coach stuff like, hey, look, circumstances don't matter. You know, your subconscious mind can make it happen. Things can build in between. You never know. And they were like, yeah, that may be so, but the job is the most important thing. So I urged them, if they really wanted to meet this person again, to live in the end in their spare time. Have the job be the main focus. Really make sure that consciousness was up to scratch regarding the job, and then focus on this SP whenever they had a little bit of spare time, or if they were feeling burnt out from the job, then to maybe just focus on the specific person for a couple of days. And even that seemed to have worked. So as it says here, let me go back to it. Where was it? You remember when I first came to you? A girl I met went out for a walk but didn't catch her name or number. This is the thing that people use as like a doubt or question about, like, how can I get in contact if they don't know my name or number, or if they don't know I exist or anything like that. Your subconscious mind doesn't need this direct connection. It doesn't need your them to have you on your phone number. It doesn't need to be the guy that you bump into at the gym every single day. It doesn't have to be this like constant connection in order to make things move. This was a person that they met out for a walk, had one of those like instant attraction kind of things, but didn't get a name or number. Had no way, as far as like the logical mind, to get back in contact, besides maybe trying to just keep going out for walks in the same place and hope they bump into each other. But by residing in the end result and impressing the subconscious mind with the story of this person, one thing led to another. They had a mutual friend who managed to recognize the client based off of this person's description from God knows when. It doesn't state when they had this discussion. They said that the person, the SP, said they never followed someone so fast. So my assumption, based on this email, is that their friend and the SP were speaking a few days ago. And this person came to me coaching about 6 months ago or so. So nearly 6 months later, give or take, obviously rough estimates based on this email when they came to me and everything. But nearly 6 months later, the SP remembers the client, discusses it with this person who could have been anybody. It could have been her mum that she was speaking to. It could have been her a best friend. It could have been a colleague. But no, she spoke to my client's mutual friend, who just happened to recognize and then go, this guy. And she says, yes. And now, as it says here, let me read that part again. Never followed someone so fast. We've been talking consistently since, and we should be meeting up this Thursday. Everything seems to be going smoothly as far as this interaction, despite the fact that my client didn't have a name, didn't have a number, had a bumping into, went out for a walk, as it states here. So you remember when I first came to you, I mentioned there was a girl I met, went out for a walk. Someone that he met out for a walk. 6 months later, all of these pieces get together to make it so that they're meeting up. Now, hopefully, it goes swimmingly. They meet, it's lovely. They go on dates, they get together, married, kids, and the lot. Hopefully, that's the way that it goes. But at least as far as like the kind of getting into contact element, if you've ever been thinking that it just can't happen, the subconscious mind, it's got a big old task ahead of it, getting you from point A to point B, think of this success. Which I like the success. I really like the job one. I don't get enough job successes purely because most people are manifesting specific people. So I really do love it when I see someone getting their sort of career and purpose and stuff up to scratch. But I absolutely do love the SP success in this as well. Whether you want to consider it success or not, obviously they've only got into contact and plan to meet. Not putting bad juju out there, but who knows where it goes from there. But at least as far as getting into contact and making the seemingly impossible happen, this is here. So what do we do? Like, now that I've got that exposition out the way, got my excitement out the way, we mostly focused on the job. The SP, as I mentioned, was kind of like a back thought, just as an additional thing. You want to meet her again? Here, do a couple of affirmations like this, and so on and so forth. But the main focus was the job. And as they said, we worked on a couple of affirmations and a bit of a routine together. The standard routine that I always like to give and let people adapt if they need to is the 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, the 5 to 10 minutes in the evening. Start your day right, end your day right. And then as you go through your day, top up your state with a few affirmations if you've got some thoughts of it coming naturally, or if you've got some spare time and you're not doing anything such as washing up or so on. And the sort of affirmations that I gave them are the general ones that I like to give for career, obviously tailoring it to specific jobs. When they came to me, they didn't necessarily have an idea on what they wanted to go into, just that they wanted a change from this. So I urged them to go general, but covering what they wanted. So things like, I am so happy to have my perfect job. Each month in my perfect job, I make more money than the last, and things like that. And lo and behold, as he states, where is it? My dad has a guy at work whose brother needed someone to do exactly what I wanted to go into. So the perfect, quote unquote, perfect job came about. They got the informal interview, a couple of connection making, and they start, when did it say? A couple of weeks from now. I'm assuming once they're, not probation. What's the opposite when you're leaving? Like your leaving time. Some jobs have like a month before you can leave and so on. I'm assuming once that goes. So that's the kind of routine and the affirmations I provided. Nothing too strenuous, but the one tip that I did give them, because their biggest issue wasn't really the creative side, it was the fact that they had a bad destructive side. They really did not like going to work. They felt stressed when they were at work. They just didn't like it, and that made them reactive. So I recommended, as I typically do, the breath work, the EFT, like the regulation to keep yourself calm and collected so you can then go forward better, and then going back onto the affirmations. But I also recommended them the same thing that I used when I moved house. Now, for those of you that didn't watch that video, it was a couple of years ago now, so I'd be surprised if many of you know it off the top of your head. But when I was trying to move house, I was always going back to my house, you know, like you have to go home basically. So I devised this, I remember when technique. Sorry, I didn't devise the technique. I took Neville Goddard's I remember when technique and devised a way to use it with that circumstance. Let me be accurate with how I say that so it doesn't sound like I'm trying to yoink Neville Goddard's work. And every time I unlocked my door, or every time I shut my door to leave, or anytime something just really irked me about my house, I would say to myself, I remember when I used to live here, but now I live in my perfect home. I remember when I used to have to deal with insert annoying thing, but now I live in my perfect home and it's everything I could want. And I did that each and every time I left, I went home, and when something bugged me or irked me, as a way of letting my mind dwell on the fact that I'm there in the negative, but from the past perspective, to shift the consciousness away from it being a present thing. You know, I remember when, but now it's different. So I'm still letting my mind dwell on what I don't like, but from the perspective of that's how it was, but now it's how I want it to be. And that's what we worked together for. And we, you know, there was a few little like updates and a few back and forths during that time where I gave them some encouragement, some reassurance and such. But that's pretty much what we worked on. And, you know, 6 months-ish later, give or take, I don't know how long the interview process went on for, and I don't know how long the back and forth connections went on for. So this could have started rolling 3 months ago. I'm not too sure. But let's just say from this point, about 6 months-ish, perfect job in the mix, happened in a way that you wouldn't really expect. And then same thing for the specific person. They didn't really want too much help with the specific person's side of things. I gave them the suggestion of I am in consistent and loving communication with my perfect person, and told them to imagine this person that they bumped into when doing it. Because obviously we didn't have her name, we didn't have a number, we didn't have anything. and we just wanted to kind of amalgamate it together. You know, we wanted the communication, we wanted it with her, but we wanted it to be fun communication, loving communication, to go somewhere. So I'm in consistent and loving communication with my perfect person and try to imagine her as that perfect person. And that's about the only thing that I really recommended to him, because he didn't want to work on that too much. As I stated, he wanted to get this job side of things done and didn't want to use the coaching time on a specific person when that wasn't the main goal. I don't have much context to go off of based on the emails I received as to, you know, what they struggled with specific person, how well they found the process, how much they did. But nonetheless, we have a story here where even if it seems like all hope is lost, or there's no way to bridge the gap between where you are and where you desire to be, the subconscious mind can make it happen. This person evidently has a bit of a friend angel looking over them. You know, the dad's, what is it? Let me remember the way that it works. His dad had a guy at work whose brother needed someone. So dad had a colleague whose brother. And then we've got the SP had a mutual friend who got them in contact. So this is proof that it doesn't have to be direct connection. Your subconscious mind will move no matter who needs to move to make it happen. So I really hope you have enjoyed this video. I really hope this has given you inspiration, especially if you're in like a long distance thing and don't know how it could work out, or you're in the same sort of situation. The subconscious mind can make it happen. Now, if you would like help from me with your situation to help you get these kinds of successes, I have coaching available, I can manifest for you available, and I have my academy available, which has all my courses, all my products, discounts on services, and more. So if you're serious about getting successes and you want spooky, as this person described, spooky experiences playing in your favor, come work with me. Let's get you them. But thank you very much for being here. Drop me a like, drop me a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.